Okay, so this is our policy of containment assignment by Justin Dumont and Morgan Bennett. We believe that Congress should adopt the policy of containment because we want the spread of communism to come to an end. The Marshall Plan. The Marshall Plan offered huge sums to enable the economies of Europe to rebuild after World War II. It also generated prosperity to reject the appeal of communism, which is something that we think is good due to the fact that we believe that Congress should institute the policy of containment. The Truman Doctrine. The Truman Doctrine was passed in March of 1947, and it promised that the U.S. would support people who are free and resisting subjection by armed minorities or by outside pressure. It was followed by aid to Greece and Turkey due to British inability to hold the line in Greece. Also, this signaled the end of isolationist policies. We support this doctrine because it supports people who are of free rather than having forms of communism, which we do not believe in. How America's commitment to Europe is demonstrated. The United States formed the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or the NATO, which many non-communist nations in Europe, such as former war ally Britain and France, to halt the spread of communism in West Europe. In response, the Soviet Union created a Warsaw Pact, an alliance of the communist nations which controlled Eastern Europe. This determination to stop the spread of communism is known as the policy of containment and was the basis for many U.S. foreign policy decisions during the Cold War. Communism in China. Okay, so the Communist Party of China was formed in 1921 and was under Mao Zedong's control in 1927. Eventually, Mao led a revolution and the Communist Party obtained full control in 1947. They followed the example of the Soviet model of development through heavy industry, with money taken away from peasants. We do not agree with these conditions that these people have to live in and would like to work on changing them. The Korean War. The Korean War lasted from 1950 to 1953. After World War II, the United States and Soviet forces went to Korea to dismiss the Japanese station there. Allies divided Korea at the 38th parallel in 1950. The Soviets invaded the South, which brought the Cold War into Asia. The Korean War ended in 1953 with the same boundaries as where the war first started. Senator Joseph McCarthy. Senator Joseph McCarthy believed that more than 200 men in the State Department were communists. McCarthy investigated the people he thought were communists and put them on trial while broadcasted on TV. People soon saw he was crazy and he lost all credibility. We respect McCarthy for trying to do something about the people that believed in communism. However, the extremity in which he went, though, was too far. The domino theory and the role of geography in deciding to adopt containment in Asia. Okay, so the domino theory must contain communism and not allow it to spread. If it does, it would lead to more countries falling into communism. In Southeast Asia, the United States government used this theory to justify its support of a non-communist regime in South Vietnam against the communist government of North Vietnam. We like this theory very much because of its goal to contain communism. All right, thank you, and this was our project.